Hello and welcome to another walkthrough of a journal by Claudia from We're Just Two Sisters. This is a lovely little journal and I'm really excited to show it to everyone. It's not very big. In fact, it measures just 7 inches by 4.5 inches, and it has a small spine of right at about 3/4 of an inch. However, that does not mean that it isn't packed and filled with a lot of really beautiful things. So this is a Victorian journal with a lot of elements that are very of that era. It's held together with a beautiful piece of tulle, and it just unties with the ribbon. And as you can see, the front cover has a beautiful Victorian lady with flowers and a beautiful saying, "The beauty of the house is order, the blessing of the house is contentment, the glory of the house is hospitality," which is a house blessing. It has these really lovely corners. They're kind of a brass look corners. The spine is sewn in with some pretty little buttons, and on the back it has a beautiful little pocket, and the pocket has 2 cards in it that are done on both the front and the back. This one has a little tag that comes out, and this little card is also completed on the back with a pretty butterfly and a saying that says, "Stay open to every delight, whim, and fancy." And I'll set these aside so that we can get a good look at the total number of cards in the journal when we're finished. So let's go inside. So on the very first page, as you can see, it's sewn in. It has some lovely lace here on the inside cover and some very old vintage Victorian book cutouts. Lots of lace sewn onto the side spine. As you can see, it's one signature, but that one signature holds an abundance of pages. Both coffee-dyed papers, book pages, lots of writing paper, and inserts, which I'll show you. Here's an example of some coffee-dyed paper using stencils. I love this little insert of a Victorian houses, and again, Victorian fashion books, as well as a lot of really fun cards, art paper, photographs. This could be used as a travel journal, as a diary. It also has some really pretty stencil dyed cloth. This is a very old vintage muslin cloth that I've dyed using stencils. Here's a corner insert, corner pocket with 3 tags. These tags are completed on the back. And here's yet one more little small one. This one's really cool. It says, "Creativity comes to those who seek it." Finished on the back with a definition of phosphorescent. Wonderful word. Maps. Again, really pretty paper that is from books that have been also embellished with other cards on the top. Here's cutouts from other little books. "The purest and most beautiful minds are those which love color the most." I'm a firm believer in that. It has paper doilies. Again, more fashion pages. Lots of writing space. Art paper. Coffee and tea dyed papers. This one actually has a really wonderful texture. And each of the fashion pages, I've embellished many of them with some trim or some lace that I think was of that era and kind of depicts the cloth or the textures that are in the pictures. Again, lots of blank pages for writing or actually creating your own embellishments. You can continue to decorate this journal. Lovely little children from that Victorian age. I thought this was extremely pretty, kind of a picture of ladies in their finest attire. More of the stencil dyed paper, and although you can't really see, this has a lot of great texture. Some dictionary pages, and I've embellished this side of this one with some lovely little snippets and sewn on some very old vintage cloth. Again, more textured paper. Some of it is thick. Some of it is almost as if it's embossed. You can actually feel the texture in these. It's a little pocket that has a photograph tag, as well as a little tag on a matinee, Prince of Wales matinee. These again are finished on the back. And this has a lot of little tickets there for travel tickets, train tickets. Again, pages that have sewn in some very vintage trim and lace. This is a really pretty card. Comes out of this little pocket, and very similar to what's on the front, but a separate card that's finished on the back as well. Has a pocket here. And friends, books, a cheerful heart, and conscious clear are the most choice companions we have here. This has a lot of embellishments and just kind of makes this pop out into more of a three-dimensional. Set that aside. It slips down into this little belly band there. And here's another little pocket here of flowers with 2 tags. Cute little tag here. And this one says, lately I've been thinking about how comfort is perhaps the ultimate luxury. Finished on the back. Again, slip down in here. And these tags and these cards that I've included in this journal that I think depict maybe what a lady would have collected and filled her journal with are all kind of reminiscent of that Victorian era, and I hope that they tell a story, and hopefully they tell your story. This I thought was a really unique page that has a depiction of a story about traveling. You know, perhaps these folks are, you know, lovers in a distant land and they've traveled by ship. But again, the story is yours to tell. Here's another page with a corner pocket with this cute little pet finished on both sides. Another little card. This is an Indian motorcycle, and on the front it has a little emblem and just some stamping that again, lots of room for continued embellishment here. Here's just some things that I've added to these pages to add some depth and some uniqueness. This is a really pretty page that has glued on different cutouts from books. I loved this little, you know, I'll forever have glue on my fingers. I wonder how that happens. And this lovely lady, perhaps her name is Sophia. Who knows? Perhaps it doesn't even start with an S. Another pretty page of things glued on that I thought really made a difference and made an impact on that page. Another little pocket that's made out of cloth that's can, you know, again, hold whatever you would like it to hold. What I've put in here are these 4 little flower cards on the back. There's just some little textured items, but these are different wildflowers that I thought looked really pretty in this little pocket. Here's another pocket that has this lovely saying. I won't read the whole thing, but I really was touched by this about how important your home is and how lovely it is to come home to all the things that you love. And I know certainly I experienced that in my home. Here's a pocket that has a lot of embellishments, several different textures and several different material here. Sacred space and sacred time, and something joyous to do is all we need. Almost anything when it becomes a continuous and interesting joy. I think a lot of the things that I ended up putting in this journal as I was creating it have a lot to do with both friendship and with your home. And, you know, it's amazing how those things actually go together. Another lovely lady in her finest attire. Again, lots of writing space. Even I left a lot of blank space even on some of these pages for you to record your thoughts and your dreams and all of the things that you'd like to write down in your journal. A couple of little cards here. Why does the sun continue to rise later each day for a couple of weeks after the winter solstice, even though the days are setting longer? A little card with a gentleman's attire. Maps. Music. Again, the other side of that piece of lovely cloth. This is a beautiful handwritten page. I acquired a really beautiful book at one of my thrift store finds that was all a guest book at a lodge. And the people who wrote in this guest book, of course, back then, they just had such amazingly lovely handwriting. And they're so much fun. This one is dated June 23rd, 1893. And there's a couple of pages of that in this journal. There's another pocket. This has some very unique and kind of whimsical pieces to it. Lady dancing. Again, all the cards here are finished on the back. This is a little folio that I made. Friendship is always a sweet responsibility, never an opportunity. And when you open this little guy up, it has a little pocket here that has some really beautiful sayings about the joy and the importance and the, you know, what you get out of friendship and what you give as a friend. Has a tablet that you can write on. Back here is how the little tag is attached. And this can just go down in the pocket as so. I might leave that one in there because that is its special spot. I'll take it out. That way I can show you everything at the end. Another page with some really pretty sayings and inspirational thoughts. Here's another folio. This one just unwraps like this around the button and wrap the string around and undo it. And it's two beautiful envelopes that I handmade inside the envelopes. And you can see that they're bound with a beautiful piece of lace that you can see through in the middle there. Lots of room for other things. I attached this pretty little tablet that's on this little blue card with this lovely whimsical yarn. And this just has places where you can write and add additional thoughts there. This just slips down into the envelope. And on this side, I've included a really pretty piece of paper that can be used to record a letter or a poem or whatever you would like. And again, this just closes up. These little strings can just dangle over the side, but this just closes up. You wrap the string around and just tuck it under the button and it stays really nicely. Slips down into this another little belly band. The other side of the Victorian painted ladies. And again, lots of writing space. Here's a little pocket that also came out of that little book. Holds a little card here. On the back it says, put a lot of little marshmallows in your hot chocolate. Here, I would agree with that. Another beautiful lady. And then the last piece is that really pretty old vintage paper. The other side is also covered with some wallpaper, and really lovely vintage lace, and then cloth that's been hand stenciled. And then, as I said, the back holds this lovely little insert pocket. So that's everything that's in the book. And I'll pan out just a little bit so you can see everything that I've taken out here and kind of scattered around. But as you can see, it comes with a lot of different elements, a lot of different cards, things that you can add to your journal. And it also comes with the tulle ribbon to tie around it. And I'm also going to include this really pretty ribbon because quite frankly, I couldn't decide which one to use. So I will let the person who owns this journal make that decision. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to the next video. Have a wonderful day.